stomach, but they don't think of this as being nerves. They think of this as being adrenaline and excitement. When I was playing sports in high school, there was a psychologist on the faculty of that school, and he told the students to come up with a chant that when we walked out to the field, all of the students in the audience would say, "We are fired up, we are fired up." Because the idea was that if we walked out to the field to start the game, we would feel the nerves. But if we heard everybody saying, you're not nervous, you're excited, you're fired up, it would change our mentality. So really, the best lesson we can give somebody is to actually embrace the difficulty of the moment, and they use the positive energy from that nervousness, and they channel it into excitement.
Class. When you mentioned the idea that Russians were watching without listening between Clinton and Trump, and you said, well, the Russian people said Trump will win. Here I have a question. I have seen a lot of studies where they show Stalin versus Hitler, and without words, the people from Russia will never vote for Hitler, and the people from Germany will never vote for Stalin. Besides that, probably the culture of Russia would rather have a Trump. Probably you do the same experiment, I don't know, in India or in Chile, probably will say Clinton, Hillary, woman will win. Where is the culture and where is the ethological, biological thing that will help you to say and predict who will win? It depends on the country and the culture, or it doesn't have anything to do when you don't listen to the words?
There's no science behind it. And anybody who tells you there's a science, run the other way. They tell you they're going to bill you for that advice. This is actually the reason why I'm living full-time in Washington, D.C. and Moscow. And when I'm not full-time there, I try to go to as many different countries as possible. Because you really need to get the exposure to be able to understand that if you want to be an effective communicator, you need to be a master psychologist. You can't just look at these scientific formulas and understand, now I'm in Russia, this is how I hold my hands. Now I'm in Japan, this is how I make my eye contact. Now there are some rules of thumb. I know that when I'm communicating in Russia, they like a little bit more strength and warmth, more competence than trustworthiness. And when I'm communicating in the United States, it's reversed. But it's about the sensibility. And even in Russia, when I'm teaching my undergraduate students versus when I'm teaching a room full of babushkas, that's a different audience as well. And so there's no easy solution to having this type of communication adaptability. It's really about getting an understanding. I've been living for 7 years in Moscow and I'm still trying to learn. And if your mentality is, I never truly know what this audience is going to most resonate and respond to, this gives you the mentality of being a constant learner and someone who always will treat an audience like it's a unique event. Michael Jordan, the basketball player, one time was asked, why do you change into your most expensive suit after your basketball game when you're just going to take the bus and go home? And he said, well, in that walk to the bus, this might be the only time someone gets to meet Michael Jordan. So I want to give my best impression. And so if you keep this question with an understanding that you'll never be able to figure it out, you will notice that you will become a lot more sensitive to the differences, not just between countries, but also audiences. If I met you after lunch, you're a different audience. If I meet you in 4 months, you're a different audience, and I need to be sensitive to that.
Well, we should say goodbye with another round of applause, and I've given an